Hello everybody, Adam Monk here again, back with another fairly unscripted video this one, because you might be aware that the transfer window is still open. Yes, the Premier League season has started and, you know, there's been some pretty steady results so far. Chelsea, of course, losing, but winning in the transfer market, you could maybe argue. I mean, if winning was measured by the amount of here we goes or there we lands now that you get through the door, because I could do a whole video on, I don't know what's going on there. But I wanted to focus on a more sensible club, Manchester City. Again, you could argue they're not 115 charges. Sensible in the sense that their off-field decisions usually lead to on-field success. They've got a good infrastructure. And speaking of which, they've made another decision, which I never thought they would as a City fan myself. And that is to bring back Ilkay Gundogan.
Guess who's back again.
Now, you don't really need me to overly analyse or overly explain why Ilkay Gundogan will perform in a Manchester City shirt, unless you are like the age of 2. In which case, if you are the age of 2, by the way, and you're watching this video, how did you get here? And why did you get here? If you want to, by all means, enjoy the content, but the kids' content is here. It's a very rare thing for Pep to do. I can't name many players that he's had previously and then brought back. He usually sells them and then that's it. Usually because he's just fallen out with them and thinks they're a despicable human being, or they're just surplus to requirements. But Gundogan clearly is an exemption to that rule. It's really bad news for other fans as well, to be honest, because Ilkay Gundogan, honestly, is the only player who I've ever seen where it gets to the final 10 games of the season and, like a game of FIFA, he just sort of turns his sliders up and becomes essentially the best midfielder on planet Earth. And at the age of 34, I'm hoping he can probably do that again. Alright then, so reason number 1 why Ilkay Gundogan will likely be a success at City this season is because Rodri may well die this season. Of course, I mean that figuratively, not literally, but the guy has literally played about 75 games in back-to-back seasons because Kalvin Phillips, he's not exactly been given reinforcements, let's just say that. Now, when Ilkay Gundogan left Manchester City, a lot of Manchester City fans were saying, well, the natural replacement now is our new number 8, 𝗘𝗫𝗧𝗥𝗔. Stylistically, though, profile-wise, I think they've got similar attributes, but also some big differences. Now, Kovacic did play at number 6 at the base of that midfield 3 at Stamford Bridge for Manchester City, and he was one of the best players, if not man of the match, in my opinion, in that game, especially scoring that goal in the second half where he drove from deep past Enzo and Caicedo, the players who replaced him at Chelsea, to score a goal that 𝗷𝗫𝗧𝗏 should have saved. Now, that goal itself typified the difference, in my opinion, between Mateo Kovacic and Ilkay Gundogan when playing at the base of that midfield in that 6th position. And that difference is Kovacic likes to carry the ball more, Gundogan is a bit more of a dictator of play, and he likes to arrive late into the box to score his goals. Exemplified here when comparing the two players. Now, this is Kovacic last season for Manchester City versus Ilkay Gundogan for Manchester City the season before when he was in the team. Here are the respective heat maps, and overall, pretty similar. Gundogan a little bit more all action, especially in the offensive third, and, you know, a little bit more action out wide as well. But overall, they play pretty similar roles. Now, onto the attacking comparison. This is really no surprise. Gundogan with more goals by 7, more expected goals, more goals per game, and also you can just see Gundogan takes more shots. There's more shots off target there to Kovacic's, and more shots on target that result in the ball going in the onion bag. So Gundogan is more of an attacking threat. We know this. We have watched him play. Creatively as well, Gundogan wiping the floor with Kovacic. 4 assists, 4.39 expected assists, 6 big chances created to Kovacic's 3, 1.9 long balls per 90, which I think is a big difference to Mateo Kovacic. He's obviously more proactive with the ball, looking for those switch balls out wide, which Rodri, of course, likes to play. When we used to have Riyad Mahrez out there, usually switched over to the likes of Jack Grealish as well. Kovacic doesn't really like to play those passes. He's a lot more intricate and incisive. He prefers to play those short passes and little combinations than switch in the play. And crosses as well, showing that Ilkay Gundogan isn't really afraid to get into those wide areas too. And then defensively, what you'd also want in a 6, well, Kovacic kind of, in my opinion, comes out on top. 1.2 tackles per 90, and he also gets dribbled past less as well. So, you know, you could make a case here to say that maybe Kovacic is a better 6 than Ilkay Gundogan and therefore the better supplement to Rodri, but I kind of disagree with that. Where I think the difference between the two and Kovacic's weakness lies in that sixth position is actually what I alluded to a minute ago when I talked about that goal he scored on the weekend at Stamford Bridge. It was a very, very good goal, but Kovacic likes to carry the ball. Ilkay Gundogan doesn't. So last season, in terms of progression, 5.80 progressive passes and 2.15 progressive carries per 90, which put him in the top 24% or higher of midfielders in the Premier League last season. Now, this is all well and good, but Manchester City's biggest weakness defensively last season, especially when Rodri wasn't playing, the biggest weakness without Rodri is that City constantly got hit in transition and conceded an awful lot of chances through that last season, and a lot of the time that came from the six, whether it be Mateo Kovacic or the rare occasion where 𝗘𝗫𝗧𝗏 played, being simply not in position and caught out of position when City were dispossessed. Ilkay Gundogan does not bring that when he plays in the six. He's very, very positionally disciplined. He's not as physical as Rodri, but he's not a player who's ever really relied on his physicality. So against certain sides, the less physical sides, those sides you'll play at home when there's 10 behind the ball, Gundogan could be a great fit at the base of that midfield to give Rodri a rest. And the last time he did this was about 5 years ago, towards the tail end of the 18-19 season. You'll remember that one where Liverpool and City went toe-to-toe, both winning, I think it was like 14 games on the bounce. And Fernandinho actually got quite a bad injury towards the end of the season. So Ilkay Gundogan played at the base of midfield for a lot of those games when City went on that winning run, and he was absolutely superb there. So I have no doubts, if City use Gundogan sparingly, especially given his age, that he can fill that void and stop City conceding so many chances in transition. Reason number two why Ilkay Gundogan will also be a good fit for City is actually related to a video I made last week, if you watched it, on Savinho. And that video, basically the crux of it was that Pep can now revert back to two old systems, that direct one with those direct wingers on their strong-footed sides, Doku and Savio, Doku on the right, Savio on the left. Or he can also play a false nine now, given the stylistic similarity between Savinho and Riyad Mahrez. But to play a false nine, you need a false nine. And who was City's best ever false nine when Haaland wasn't here? Well, it was Ilkay Gundogan. He was City's top scorer in the 2021 season, playing from false nine with 13 goals in the Premier League and 2 assists. And 2 assists is quite an anomaly for Ilkay Gundogan. That's because he was playing that high up the pitch almost as a focal point, and I mean that to the extreme. You might remember this goal here against Tottenham Hotspur. Ederson absolutely lumping it up the length of the pitch, and look who's there, almost as a target man. Sit down Davinson Sanchez, I think it was, for this goal. But again, like, you don't really see Gundogan doing this very often, and he certainly didn't in any other season for Manchester City. But as we know, he also likes to arrive late in the box and has got that sense for goal as well, as shown by this goal here against Aston Villa. I just wanted to put this one in the video, to be honest. But the point is, and I don't need to overdo it, he fills that void and can play false nine, and then that also allows you to carry on playing Foden in his favoured position in that number 8 now, or Kevin De Bruyne as well. So Ilkay Gundogan fits that role like a glove, as well as he does the number 6, and of course, and I'm not even going to touch on this because we're not stupid on this channel, are we? Ilkay Gundogan can play the 8 position as well. So this also helps Kevin De Bruyne in terms of an age factorisation thing as well, where you can simply rotate both of them and make sure that neither of them get injured or overplayed or overworked. So it completely works for a year deal. And yeah, that leads me on to my other point. It's a year deal most likely, which buys City time, not only in the courtroom, but also in the transfer market. Because for instance, City might look to bring in someone like 𝗕𝗏, this is just speculation, next summer when he's a bit more available on the market. So it fills that void for now. It makes a lot of sense, especially when it's a free transfer and it's a player who you know has been here, done it, and fits like a glove. Anyway, guys, yes, that is my quick little video on the little-known footballer called Ilkay Gundogan. I didn't have to go into too much detail because you know how good he is and who he is. He's not some player from a mystical league who we've never heard of, who I've got to dissect by watching 800 minutes of on some 240p YouTube compilation. No, we know who this bloke is. And also, if you're a fan of Arsenal maybe, or Liverpool, or any other big club, does this worry you? Does this strengthen City? I certainly think it does. Let me know in the comments down below. And of course, guys, don't forget to subscribe. We really, really appreciate that. The new edition of the mag, if you'd like to buy it, is around here as well. It's the big season preview, although the season's started now. There's a new one coming out soon, but if you love 442 and have just forgot to buy the mag, then it's still here. I've been Adam Monk though, guys. Take care. I'll see you very, very soon. Hopefully for another transfer video. I think, from what I'm being told as well, that Manchester City might sign a striker, which would negate my false 9 point. But for now, I'm just going to pretend that I'm not hearing these things, and we're just gonna run with it.
And if that's not a true story, I think it's a great story. So we'll just go with it anyway.
Anyway, guys, yes, take care. Have a lovely day. I will see you soon. Goodbye.